So that is a pillar for urban impact, and we want to encourage people to establish a sense of faith that supports them for the long haul. All right. So the accelerator is more about how to empower entrepreneurs by providing them a really solid foundation. Nobody's building a house without creating a solid foundation, and that's the same approach we definitely want to take with our businesses as well, because we want people to be resilient. It requires it for people of color in business. Resilience is a huge, important factor in our journey. And whether you're new or seasoned, the mission is the same. I mean, a great deal of this is really looking at what are the missions and values of your organization? What's the story you're telling about you and your business? And believe it or not, that is the first couple minutes of any introduction. And if it's not landing, it means it's time to reapproach. It's really important how we tell the story of our businesses to people. And you need to have a 1-minute version, a 3-minute version, a 5-minute version, a 10-minute version, and sometimes a 20-second version. And so are you able to tell the story of your business and who you are in an impactful, compelling, and profound way that allows people to want to take action or to cut the check or whatever it is that you're trying to establish? Thumbs up on that. Is everybody clear on that? In unison. Love it. And of course, like, what's your value proposition? What makes you different? Like, how is it that you stand out in this space? And what can you do to demonstrate that you are different from the rest? Now, competition isn't something to turn your nose at. It's an opportunity for you to actually share why you are the best to do what you're doing. And we want to take advantage of that. And also, I see a lot of entrepreneurs that usually are focused on the idea that they have, but they haven't connected it with a market yet. If we're talking business, you need a market. And so we really want to create an understanding and definition for what it means to have a market analysis of the people that you are serving and the people that you want to buy your business. So a lot of people start a business and they're looking for their friends and family or neighbors to support. But you actually need to be really clear on who your market is. Because whether your family, friends, or neighbors support customers, and really understanding what your relationship is with them and what you need to know about them to sell them a product that allows them to buy it and encourages them to buy it. So that's what's really important about the marketing. Yes, when you go to other accelerators, they talk about the TAM, SAM, of course will provide the most important market information, but really understanding who you're serving and who's actually showing up to buy your product is essential because we are a business. And then, of course, along with the story you're telling out of your business, what's your brand identity, right? How are you building the storytelling of your business on more than one platform? During COVID, a lot of entrepreneurs struggled because they were only in-person transactional. Now we know the risk is what happens if that gets removed. How is the customers? And truth be told, while most people call that brand identity, what's your digital footprint look like? Where is the clear story about you and your business being told? How is it being told? Who is it reaching? These are all things that we really want to be dedicated to understanding. And if we're in business to make money and to serve an audience, this is essential. How are you identifying across all platforms? How are people receiving and experiencing your brand? And Mike is the genius at that. So about the accelerator and what we're going to be providing to those who participate. I just want to give 2 more people a chance to log on. And thank you so much for your patience. And Mike, were you able to get that link to a few other people that we missed?
Yeah, so let me.
About the importance of telling your story. We talked about the importance of understanding your market. We talked about the importance of building a brand and a digital footprint that allows you to really resonate your messaging with your audience. And a lot of things that a lot of people don't consider is the importance of your entity. For those of you that don't hear it sort of referred to in that way, what we're talking about is your business structure. So these days there's a lot of new ideas about how people should be framing their businesses. So this is also the first year we're including nonprofits in our accelerators, because the more advanced and updated version of entrepreneurs, everybody is in the journey together. Whether you are an entrepreneur that is building a social impact organization, such as a nonprofit or a B Corp, or if you're starting an LLC, an S Corp, or a C Corp going after funding. So we want to make sure you understand what each path yields and what it provides you. So we will be bringing legal expertise to the table so that they can share information with you on why you may choose a B Corp over an S Corp and how that affects your funding journey or what that opens up your world to. And a lot more social impact organizations are focused on B Corps instead of the C Corp structure or building a nonprofit. And so we have a lot of experts and mentors that are here to show people a lot of areas of success that they've created under different umbrellas of entities. So for some of you, you may already have it. Revere XR, my startup, was a C Corp, but we've also discussed the importance of it having a nonprofit as well. So for some entrepreneurs, you may decide, I really think I need both. Well, we have legal experts that can explain to you how to do that and why and under what premise that may serve you well. So the most important thing for me, and I can speak for my team too, is we want all of you to be really well informed with all the decisions you're making so that you're not coming back a year later and finding out that you shouldn't have done that or created your startup with that particular entity. And in our case, we don't mind if it's a nonprofit. There are tons of multi-million-dollar nonprofits out here that are doing amazing work. So we don't want people to feel like they have to be under one umbrella if it doesn't serve you well. So that's the most important thing to know about your business structure, and what we'll be covering is the legal understanding of what you need to have in place. And we want to take that a step further to say, if you're this particular entity, you need to be prepared to do taxes every quarter, or you need to be prepared to understand the financial implications that come along with that business structure and that entity. And then, of course, I mean, honestly, the core principles are, how do you get to market? Like, that's the number one question all entrepreneurs really need to know, is how am I getting my venture to market? How am I creating opportunities to allow customers to interact with my products? And understanding that requires research. So again, we talked about who's your audience and who are you serving, but understanding their needs is really important. I'll give you an example. With Revere XR, we had to talk to school districts to really understand how to develop a product that serves schools. As simple as it sounds, it's also one of the things that people miss out on the most, is engaging with their customers in advance of a sales cycle. Like, how do you essentially create the opportunity to understand their needs and what their problems are? So we're going to teach you how to build a relationship with your customer prior to selling anything to them, to let them know you're there to solve problems for them, and to let them know that you need them on your journey to create the right product in order for it to be successful. And that's how you build those partnerships prior to launching, so that you already have a customer waiting for your product to hit the market. Amen. Amen. Thank you for the cosign. And then, of course, listen, there isn't a single entrepreneur walking the face of this earth that isn't saying, I need funding, I need money. And that's true. You do. But to go to investors, to go to philanthropists, to apply for grants, have you taken care of step 1 through 9 before you jump to 10? Because if you go and seek funding in a lot of spaces and you haven't done step 1 and 9, the door closes before you can finish the conversation. And then you've missed the opportunity to go back to those funding sources when you do have your first 9 steps done. So we want to give you a realistic perspective. We want to help you set goals. We want you to understand financial projections. How do you determine what to ask for? What are you hoping to make in year 1, 3, and 5? These are conversations, listen, that our community struggles with because we don't have a ton of information, or the playbook isn't published for us. Well, in this accelerator, I just need you to your mic. What we want to make sure we're doing is preparing to sit down and be bankable. So we created a partnership with US Bank, who's going to provide a lot of one-on-one training with our entrepreneurs. And I don't mean just telling you what sounds good and good marketing and PR. No, they want to sit down with you and help you build a roadmap for how you ensure your business credit is where it needs to be, and how you align yourself to receive funding from banks as well. But that doesn't just rely on banks. We have investors that are willing to teach the good, the bad, and the ugly of what it means to be invested in. And some of our entrepreneurs and people in our community take funding without realizing you're giving up equity in your company. So while everybody wants to talk about money first, let's focus on what you need to get it from people, and then let's focus on what kind of money you want to take. Because you may not want every investor's money, and you need to understand what you're signing up for. So that's what. Sorry? Do you have a question, Thomas?
Oh, sorry, I thought I was muted.
I got you muted for you. And then one of the other pieces that I think is really important that a lot of entrepreneurs is a new conversation. Listen, how are you using AI in your business? Okay, and it's okay to be hesitant, and it's okay to be concerned. I was born in the 80s. I saw iRobot too. I get it. We all have some concerns. But what I can assure you is AI is not going to steal your job, but you can build an empire with it. And you can allow it to do things for your business if you don't have funding to pay staff that can really support you. And so we want to teach you some of those tools so that you feel confident that you can add that tool to your scope in terms of what you're offering clients and how that can support you and help you. And here's one of the most important pieces that's been part of the journey for me is how many people know how to go to a corporation and ask for corporate sponsorship? How many people know how to create sponsors that are looking to fund their businesses or their projects or their programs before investors? And that's something that I've had a lot of success in, so I'm really looking forward to showing you guys how you build relationships with corporations and encourage them to sponsor the work that you do. But most of all, I assume most people are joining an accelerator because they're in it for the long haul. And they want to understand what the roadmap looks like, not just for their product, but how they're marketing their businesses, both on social media, on professional media like LinkedIn, on websites, and more. How are people navigating your journey online, and what are you saying to them? So we want to make sure that people have that. So we have the Dean of Communication at the University of Washington that's going to be providing one-on-one marketing training with our entrepreneurs and teaching classes on everything you need to know about marketing. So whether you have a chief marketing officer or a marketing intern or a marketing specialist, you understand how to help them navigate your journey of marketing. And we have an opportunity to create internships for a lot of our entrepreneurs as well, so that people who are already advanced in doing marketing can bring some of that to your business as well. So we're constantly thinking about what you need for expansion and growth, and we're constantly thinking about what you need for the long haul. And so allow us to be the eyes and ears and hands that helps you run your business and push it into the future. But most of all, we know that our people don't have access to a lot of this information. And so what we're doing is providing a playbook to underserved entrepreneurs, because when you step out there alone, it can be a very lonely journey. I'm speaking from experience. Having the opportunity to have community and a cohort of people that are on that journey with you, that are helping to hold you accountable, that are encouraging you, and even helping you define what faith entrepreneurship is the journey that I wish that I had as a lonely entrepreneur. And so we want to create that space for you guys as well. So yes, resources, inclusion, playbook, access to knowledge and information that you don't always have access to, and we're going to put the experts in front of you. Now, the benefits are too long to list, but if you need the list, here's a couple benefits. Yes, expert mentorship, cutting edge curriculum, a lifelong network of people who believe in you. I still talk to people I was in this accelerator with, and Mara has been a huge support in my journey as an entrepreneur through Urban Impact, and she didn't have to. It wasn't a part of her 9 to 5 duties, but she always checked in on me, and that's what we're about here, is this lifelong network. And then let's get you prepared for funding, because that's what you need to take your business to market. So your journey starts with applying to the Ignite Accelerator, and Mike's going to share a little bit more with you about that now.
So once again, thank you so much for joining us here this evening. We'd really like to invite you to follow our social pages. Our Instagram is at ui.econdev. And for LinkedIn, you can find us at Urban Impact Economic Development. We will also be putting these links in the chat here in a moment. So if you're on desktop, don't worry, we'll have those links right to you. And here's a QR code for the accelerator. We'll also be posting a link to apply for the accelerator itself in the chat. Applications are already open. There's a short questionnaire in there. Definitely go in there, be open and honest. We can't wait to get to know y'all a little bit more. And applications close December 22nd at 11:59 p.m. So take your time. Put your applications in. Definitely make sure you get everything together, and then can't wait to see y'all in the new year. Pause here for a moment just so anybody who needs you can get access to the QR code, and posting the link in the chat here in a moment.
Now, we've talked to you a lot about what we're offering you, but we also want to hear from you. What are you really looking for right now in an accelerator? And do you have any questions based on some of the information we've provided today? And I know it's hard to be the first one to step out and ask a question. So I know a lot of you are already business owners. Some of you are new. We'd love to hear more of your questions and anything you'd like to know more about that we didn't cover today. And in the meantime, I'm going to put my email in the chat.
So I guess I'll go ahead and start. Good seeing you, Yolanda. I'm Paul Jackson. I have a Ph.D. in computer engineering that I got in 1998 from Texas A&M. I did 20 years of research at Boeing in augmented and virtual reality. I'm now living in Tacoma with my wonderful wife, Jasmine Brown, who's an artist, and she started a nonprofit called Swan Creek Art Academy. So last weekend, we were able to be in at the Tacoma Armory for art at the Armory. And her nonprofit teaches the next generation and pretty much the general public about digital art, digital media, and they're going to bring the technology. And so the reason I would meet up with you, Yolanda, is because I have a Quest headset, and I want to install your app that does the Jackson Street Jazz Walk. And so I'd love to meet up with you so I can get that installed in my deal. One other thing, I'm talking to this other company called Industry XR, something like that. And they've combined and teamed up with a lot of the universities, particularly HBCUs, and they're doing training and doing campus simulations and things like that. I'm actually talking with them on Friday to see how we can integrate their work, and they're talking with Meta and how we being the nonprofit, can utilize some of their services and get some of the grants. Because I understand Meta has a grant to get the new Quest Pro headsets, and so it's something else I'm trying to get involved in. And so, yeah, Yolanda, let's do this after hours. We can hook up. And I can get that the application installed with you. One last thing is that I graduated in '98 with my PhD, but I was diagnosed with multiple sclerosis in '93. So I'm actually retired on disability, and so I'm actually receiving the Social Security SSDI. And so I know there's some limitations to how much money I can make, but since my wife has a nonprofit, going to try and use her as the shield for that. And since you were talking to business lawyers and things like that, I'm definitely want to talk to some people about safeguarding my benefits, but still being able to do work and get some of the benefits of the income from that. And so that's me. Thanks.
Thanks so much, Paul. I look forward to connecting with you. And I dropped my email, and LinkedIn, I think we're already on, so I'll reach out to you after.
Excellent, thank you.
Nicole, I see your hand raised.
Hello. Hi. Oh, looks like we might have multiple mics. Hold up. I'll make sure here too. Okay. Let me see if you can hear me if I do.
Can you still hear me? It's a bit of an echo, but I can hear you.
Okay. So, hold on.
Okay, we'll come back to you. I'm going to give Kim a chance while you're working out the mics. Kim, go ahead. Question?
I was just wondering if there's a schedule already established for the 10 weeks.
Yes, there is. And the 10th week is really graduation, so it's 9 weeks and a celebration. But there is a schedule for the 9 weeks, absolutely.
Is that something you guys are willing to share prior to applying? Because I don't want to apply if it's not going to work with my schedule. Because that could be taking up space for somebody else. You know what I mean?
When you say schedule, I apologize. I thought you meant the actual curriculum. It sounds like you're actually talking about the time.
Yes.
It would be the same time as this. We do it in the evenings, and it's usually on a Wednesday or a Thursday. So we'd have the same weekday and the same time every week. We recognize a lot of entrepreneurs, and most entrepreneurs of color are still juggling a business or along with a job. And if they're starting a business, they're still, absolutely working. And we want to respect that doesn't mean you'll be available at 10 a.m. or 12 p.m. in the afternoon. So we focus in the evening because that's what it's always been in our community, and that's the best time to make sure people have made it home. And so 6 o'clock in the evening, it'll either be on a Wednesday or a Thursday.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Of course. Any other questions?
I think I got the mic to work with no echo.
Yes.
So I'll have there's going to be two family members are going to apply. I'm applying with Enhanced Interactions, which is for profit, and then we have our nonprofit arm. I'll just do that together. This is like one entity. But my sons will be applying with Memorable Moments, which is a manufacturing laser engraver company. And so what we're looking for, what I heard that the marketing, the legal, we're definitely looking for like connections to folks that need and want laser engraving, from B2B to Black businesses to make like balsa wood earrings to ASI, which is like advertisement, like swag for companies. Like we can engrave logos on pins and etc. So is there something around that's what we're really looking for that point? Is there something around where we could there's those types of connections that are being made? It's probably not in the curriculum, but like that's something that I'm hoping to get. Not just we get to sit around and talk, but like where's the plan to identify I guess B2B instead of B2C. That I think that's my short thing. Sorry, like where can we do the B2B instead of B2C as our customer?
So you're not focused on consumers, you're focused on business to business. That's good to know. I would say that first and foremost, we're going to make sure you understand your audience and your customers. A lot of people say, oh, I know my customers. You have to have, in order to get funding, if that's what you're looking for, you have to demonstrate that you've done customer research. And so we want to help people with that process. I respect my time and everyone else's, so no accelerator that I'm involved in is just a conversation. It's action, which is why we focused on Ignite as the mission, because it does require work. And when I think of networking, I think of networking on most high levels, networking with corporations, networking with investors, networking with philanthropists, networking with people who originally may look like competitors, but actually might be your best bet to understand your market and what can be done, and understanding what they're doing and what you bring that differentiates you too. So I'm not going to pretend like there isn't a process involved, and it probably isn't the best accelerator if you're only looking for one thing and you don't want to do any other work around that. But we take it from a very holistic perspective so that you're covering all your bases, because if you don't achieve your goals, we want everybody to achieve their goals, and if you don't, it's because we missed a step. And so we are taking everybody holistically through the same process so that they have a solid foundation to stand on, and they can be successful when they do find and engage with their audience.
Yeah, absolutely. And we want to do all those steps that we were just kind of asked us, like what was not said that we're still interested in. So that's the other part.
Okay. Yeah.
I definitely would love to jump in and add, outside of just the course curriculum, because something that I definitely saw you said in your question was like, what's inside the course curriculum might differ, but everything we're trying to offer. Something else we really are trying to offer is getting into the community and really trying to figure out how can we promote businesses from within the community. So when we're in here working within the community and we're putting together the business, whether it's yours or your son's, we're helping shore out the full business plan of the model. And on the outskirts of that, we're putting together these events, we're putting together these promotions that said, oh, who can we spotlight from within our community? Who can we share out? And we can share, okay, this is what you do, this is your vision, and share that to the community. And so people say, oh, I love that. Let me get that person to come and do this agreement for my event that we're putting on. So when we're talking about the networking events we want to put on in 2025 and the years to come. It's not just about events for urban impact. The events that we're trying to put on are to revitalize the community, connecting solutions from within the community for the community. So if that's what you need, is not just B2B but also B2C connections and promotion. That's exactly what we are trying to get in and be for you.
Mm-hmm. Excellent. The other thing I'll say that supports marketing is we're building a podcast room to support entrepreneurs in establishing a podcast for themselves, because that builds audience, that creates followers beyond just social media. So beyond the like button, a podcast creates more of a call to action. It engages more people in the intimacy of your story and your business, making them want to follow you. So for those of you that are interested in creating a podcast, we're building a room for our entrepreneurs right now.
I believe earlier I saw Thomas H. had a question up. I want to make sure that we don't circle back if he still does have a question.
Yeah, it was more of just a comment because she asked, what are you excited for about the accelerator? And my response would be just the mentorship aspect. Like, that's what I look forward to the most. Just being like, never starting a business before, running a business, and I just want to get pointed in the right direction. I know after that I'll take to it like with a breeze. I just want to be pointed in the right direction. So that's the part I look forward to the most.
Nice. And I will say, how many other people, just with your reaction, your thumbs, or your digital thumbs, how many other people are really looking for mentors that are going to be not just people they check in with, but people that can provide real world experience? And okay, I'm seeing some thumbs up. Good to know. Okay, good. Yeah, well, what's great about that is we're not talking to just any entrepreneur. We're talking to industry thought leaders and experts who want to give their time and energy to support diverse entrepreneurs. So I love what you're saying, Thomas. And mentors, finding the right mentors for me was very difficult. So we're going to have a mentor matching situation where you will get matched with mentors. And we want to create some variety in it so you're getting the chance to work with more than one mentor. Also, we will offer some in-person events specific to networking with mentors and advisors and people who you may want on your board if you are building a board for your business as well.
So Yolanda, I got another question. So where is the podcast studio going to be?
It'll be in the Urban Impact building.
And where's that? It's in Seattle or is it in Tacoma?
Rainier, it's in Seattle.
Okay.
And Rainier, Baja.
Okay, excellent. Because our company is in Tacoma. And so we're actually looking at the building, the Rain building on the corner of 23rd and Jefferson. And so, yeah. And we're actually thinking about putting a podcast room in that building. So it'll be pretty interesting. But,
yeah, now's the time. A lot of people understand the importance of storytelling for their business. So at one time, it was all about social media for your business. And, podcast is more of a storytelling vehicle. So people are more willing to subscribe and follow you. And then they feel invested in your journey. And that's part of how we help grow that audience.
Excellent.
Looking into the chat, we have a question from Wayne and Mayette. And they asked, is the program completely online, and will there be a cost associated with the Ignite Accelerator?
So Urban Impact is not monetizing off entrepreneurs joining our accelerator, so it is completely free to you. We would say the investment in yourself is what we hope to see. So we're not looking for monetary return, we're looking for the investment in you and you getting what you need to be successful. We are looking to start in the second week of January 2025. I don't know how many of you are excited about 25 as much as I am. But new year, new opportunities, new roadmap, new playbook, and that's what we're here to provide.
And will there be any in-person requirements?
Oh, thank you so much, Mike. You guys will learn with me. If you ask me a two-part question, I'm going to forget one, so do it one at a time with me. So there will be in-person activities. Well, the curriculum and the accelerator workshops are always going to be on Zoom. There will be in-person activities, like in-person networking and in-person fireside chats. So something we'll be offering is I have connections to a lot of amazing CEOs that have done amazing things, and they want to tell you the story. I mean, the story that they don't tell anybody else. They want to tell you the good, bad, and ugly so that you can apply a lot of what you're learning to your business. And so some of those will be in person, but those are more social. The graduation will be in person, but our accelerator sessions will be on Zoom, same way it is now. And I think I answered that. No, there's no cost other than you believing in yourself and allowing us to uplift you and empower you and help you be successful. So it will cost you in time.
And telling your friends all about it. Share.
Yes. You'll cover the requirements to apply. There's a link that's a little further up in the chat. If you just joined, you may not see it. So, Mike, you're welcome to go back to the page where they can see the QR code and the link for applications. With this particular application, I'm sure some of you have filled out grant applications or accelerator applications. For example, Black Ambition with Pharrell Williams, they expect you to have achieved a certain amount of revenue before you can be a part of that accelerator. We are open to people coming in with just ideas because they might need help just getting started. We want to support people who have been in business but are just not sure how to scale, or they're dealing with more challenges than they are success, and it's got to be an easier way to do it. We're going to provide you tools and access to experts that can help you jump over those hurdles so that you are in a place where you can soar. Scalability is the name of the game. I kind of equate it to the music industry. Like, you have some artists that are one-hit wonders, right? And they create an amazing song and it's timeless and everybody loves it. And then you have some who continue to make records and are in it for the long haul. And then thank you, Mike, just dropped the link as well. I was on the East Coast when I applied. We are not turning people away who are invested in building a business. So while we focus typically on the Puget Sound, I joined this accelerator from Atlanta, Georgia, and no one told me I wasn't allowed. So if you know entrepreneurs or if you are an entrepreneur that is not full-time in Seattle, that does not affect our decision. Your ability to invest in yourself and to allow us to support you. And truthfully, if you can be a part of the weekly sessions is what's going to make all the difference. And since it's by Zoom, we want to make it accessible to people. Because I wouldn't be here right now if it wasn't. So no, we're not discriminating against you East Coasters. I feel like I hear wheels turning. There's got to be a few more questions.
Absolutely. We're at 20 people in the Zoom, so this is the most you've had. Any questions? Anybody you know that you can think of that's leaning towards turning their side hustle into a real business, please share this opportunity.
It seems we have a question from Wayne and Mayette. If you want to unmute.
How you doing, Yolanda? It's good to see you.
Great to see your face.
Yeah. Really excited about this.
Me too.
I did get bumped off. I may have missed some things. But I was wondering, how are you all funded?
So Urban Impact is a nonprofit, a 501c3, and we have amazing philanthropists and funders who fund the entire organization. And Urban Impact is one of the departments, so we have a budget to support you guys as well. Thank you. Of course. She said, check in. You verifying. Are you funded? Now, also, I want to point out, this is for any age. I mean, typically we do youth programs potentially in the summer, but if you are an older, more seasoned entrepreneur, it's not too late. And we want to help make you successful. So I know a lot of different people are different age groups, different backgrounds, different perspectives. We're going to learn how all of each other's strengths and differences help catapult our journey. So we look forward to learning from our seasoned participants, whether you're an entrepreneur for the first time or not.
And if you know any other entrepreneurs who may or may not have stuff and they said, I'm not going to that information, feel free to just give them the link to the application. They're going to put December 22nd.
And typically the information is for people who just want to learn more, but there are some people who are just ready to apply and automatically are waiting for us to open up, and we've had that happening. So we know people are eager to apply and we want to provide the opportunity, but we also want you to be well informed.
Thomas asked if there are limited spots in the accelerator.
That's I don't want to say that because it creates a barrier, but we're not going to take 40 people at the same time because we really do want to invest in everyone. But there are a lot of opportunities as well. So after this Ignite Accelerator, we move right into Shark's pitch training, which is about pitching. And we're developing a lot of opportunities to teach entrepreneurs how pitching can be a huge funding vehicle for their business. For Revere XR, I funded my entire business off of pitching and grants. And for some people, that might be a great path for you. What it resulted in is I still own 100% equity in my company. I did not have to give up equity to receive funding. I found that the mouthpiece and the storytelling was in a place that I could make money off of it. And so I chose to use that as a vehicle to fund my business. For those of you that are unaware, there are pitch competitions every year all over the West and East Coast where you can win $150,000, $250,000 office suites, so much more. We got a chance to pitch at the Super Bowl in Las Vegas last year, and that was an amazing opportunity. Now, we came in second place, but we also got a lot of free time in Vegas, which was amazing. Okay, enough about my journey. Are there any other questions? Anything else people really want to know about either the application process or how we're going to be making decisions and what else the accelerator can provide? Oh, y'all are a shy bunch. Okay.
How are you guys going to go about making the decision?
Well, we're going to take the time looking at all of the accelerator applications, all of them. And we have a committee of previous entrepreneurs that have gone through our program that are also going to help support and just provide some feedback as well in what they're seeing. We may reach out to people for more questions to see if there's something we missed, but we're looking for thoroughly filled out applications. So if you're skipping questions, that's going to be something that probably won't fully be looked at. We need the applications to be complete, and it's okay if you don't know the answer. One of the things in entrepreneurship is like not all of us fit perfectly in a box, but can you communicate where you are at, even if it's just an idea? And so I would say taking the time to fill out the application, be as thorough as possible, providing information is really the best opportunity for your application process. But we also ask you to provide maybe a video or a demo or some link to something that tells us more about who you are and what you're trying to create. Because on one part, we need to learn about you, but the other part is I need to understand where you're going. And so it's okay if you don't know exactly what you're creating at this moment in time. If you came with an idea, we can help build you up to the place where you do know what you're building and bring you up to speed with everyone else. But we're looking to see how much people really put into the application. And these kind of applications for accelerators or grants aren't easy. For those, how many people have filled out grants online or applications for accelerators or programs that provide funding?
Not yet.
Okay, I see a couple people. So what I'll say is it comes with a character requirement, and what that's doing is really trying to force you to find a way to focus on what the most compelling and important information is. So we do provide a limit for how much you can say in questions because we can't read 10 paragraphs, and that means you haven't really gotten to the point yet. And I know that's challenging to hear, but it's the truth, and you'll hear words from other people, so let me be the first to tell you. Drafting your answers and making sure they fit within the character limit, or that you're doing it in a way where the word count does work for your answer and you're really getting to the point of what it is the answer is we're trying to push you to get there because that's imperative for entrepreneurship, especially if you want to win grants, especially if you want a lot of the accolades that come along with online applications. They sometimes say 100-word count. Well, how much can you say in 100 words that really exemplifies the power of who you are and what your business is and can do? So typically, sorry, I just went ahead and read Latrice's question. So typically, I would encourage people to fill out the application, and even if they think they're not ready, so that way we knew you were an interested entrepreneur. So if we see your application next year, we're aware that you applied for the second time. If you're not applying at this time, I would say there are other opportunities, but this is the one where you can start from scratch, or you can take the beginning steps with everyone, and you're not expected to know everything. In this accelerator, you're not expected to be an expert. And if you are an expert, why are you taking an accelerator? You should, like, you already know that, right? So this is really about people saying, there's some stuff I don't know, whether it's I don't know anything and I'm starting, or I need help understanding certain things. Still all comes from a place of people needing knowledge and information. And you getting access to that is going to play a huge role in what you're launching. So I kind of don't think that anybody's not ready to receive education and information that can be the catalyst for their success. And it's okay to create a pace that works for you, but we're going to make sure you walk in. And even if you walk in with nothing, you're leaving with a solid foundation and a roadmap of what you're going to do. And for some people who are already at a certain place, they would have executed some of that as well. But we're going to do what Mara did for me, and we're going to be accessible to you even after the accelerator, during the accelerator, at different times, so that you feel like you have the support you need.
And I'll piggyback on that and just say I definitely would encourage you to fill out the application, because just filling out the application itself, it might be a little daunting. So, you might not have the answer to some of those questions, but I think filling out the application is the best way for you to know what you don't know and what you're excited to know, and that's the best way for you to know what you are looking for in the accelerator and what the accelerator might be able to give to you. So definitely fill out the application. There are no binary questions. There's no question where if you don't put a specific answer, you're just not going to make the cut. We really just want to understand more about you, your vision, and your journey.
Thank you. Mara, is there anything you want to add?
I just want to thank everyone for being here and respect their time. You guys are already demonstrating boss behavior. I love it. Everybody came and understood the assignment. So it's a pleasure to see you all tonight. And yeah, let's do it big next year. Tap in.
Mm-hmm. So we really look forward to seeing the applications. The deadline's the 22nd. We're going to be kicking off some January workshops teaching people how to do amazing things with AI that can make the difference of whether or not you have staff. So AI was a huge support in what I built for my business, and people thought I had hundreds of people on staff. So I'm happy to share all the secrets. And I just want you guys to know personally, that's what I'm here to do. I want to teach you guys how I definitely found tools and ways to make my journey really amazing, and it can be. So I hope to support you guys on your journey. We look forward to seeing your applications. Please feel free to reach out. My email's on there, Mara's email's on there, and Mike has provided the links to our social media if you want to follow to get more updates and information. Mike, can you show them the social media QR code as well? So feel free to follow us so you can learn more. While Urban Impact has been around for 30 years, we are just building our website and our social media so that we have our own pages, and so you'll see a lot of that stuff happening around you, but we are 100% ready for us to get you guys involved with these mentors and spaces where you need the support and where you can get it. So I just want to thank everybody for coming out tonight.
We
Thanks.
have one final question from Wayne and Mayette, but before we get to that, I will say, outside of the accelerator, definitely follow our socials. This is what we do, like networking events and open programming, open investor calls. So that's where you're going to be able to find out when those things are happening, so you can get a part of those, whether you're in the accelerator or not, and even after the accelerator. But I think we now maybe have two final questions, and for those who can't stay, thank you for your time.
I'll take the questions.
Just a little TA. I never know how to download a PDF so I can see all the questions in a when there's an application like yours. Mm-hmm. Someone give me, you know how you have to fill it out before you can go to the next screen?
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. Is there a way I can see all the questions before I have to go to the next screen? I just don't know how to do that in a form like yours. I mean, if it's not, that's cool, but yeah.
Let me connect with Mike on that, and if we have your emails in the chat, we can send that information to everyone.
And if not, that's cool because it says it, it's not the one, but yeah, I'm sure there is a way. I just don't.
No worries. Feel free to email me if you definitely want a copy of that, or drop your email in the chat so we can include you in the email when that goes out. And then was there one more question? All right. Well, we appreciate you guys coming. Please feel free to email me if you have questions. I look forward to hearing more about where you guys are interested in shaping and molding your journey. Thank you so much for coming. We appreciate y'all. Sending lots of blessings your way.
Thank you all. We appreciate your time. Take care.
You too. Happy holidays. Merry New Year.
Thank you.
Peace.